Alright everybody, today we're going to be discussing the constant multiple rule. Now this is a pretty simple concept for derivatives, but it's very important to really understanding them. And as you'll see as you move on, this rule shows up time and time again, and you'll find yourself just using it without even realizing, because it's pretty straightforward. So all this rule is stating is that if you have a function like f of x times a constant c, and you try to take the derivative of all this, that this derivative is just equal to the constant times the derivative of that function. So this is a relatively simple concept, but I'll walk through the proof as to why this is the way it is. And if you want to skip that, I'll put the times down in the description below to where you can skip ahead to just see some examples of this. So to get started with the proof, we'll say let some function g of x be equal to another function times a constant f of x. So just now going back using the basic definition of a derivative, you can see that g prime of x is equal to the limit as h approaches 0 of g of x plus h minus g of x all over h. Now going back and making a substitution for everything that's g of x equal to c times f of x, you'll find that this is equal to the limit as h approaches 0 of c f of x plus h minus c f of x all over h. Now you can see here we have constants in front of both these values up top here, so we can factor that out, bring the constant out front, so constant times the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. Now you can see this here is the same as it's the basic definition of a derivative with the constant out front. That's all this is really saying up here, is just the constant times its derivative. So just memorizing this equation here is much easier than running through this proof every time you need to take a derivative. So we'll move on. We'll do a couple examples now. This won't take too long because they're, like I said, they're relatively simple problems. So let's start with something easy like y equals 3x. Now y prime here is just 3 because we know the derivative of x is just 1. And if you want to get the power rule involved, you can use y is equal to 2x cubed. So I'll break this down step by step. So y prime is going to be equal to 2 times the derivative of x cubed. And as we know from the power rule, this means that 2 times 3x squared is going to be the derivative, which equals 6x squared. So that's just bringing the constant out front, take care of the derivative, and bring it back in, finish up the problem. And this works with longer equations too, like y equals 3x squared plus 2x plus 3. And you just take care of each value as you work your way through the equation. So this y prime is going to be equal to 6x plus 2 plus 0, because the derivative of a constant, we know, is 0. And I mean, this applies for fractions as well. Same thing, just y prime is going to equal 1/2 here. It's a pretty simple concept. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Helps the channel out. Have a good day.